Hello everyone, I am Dhara Kansara. I will discuss ring counter and Johnson counter in this video, and I will cover this content: ring counter, Johnson counter, and we will discuss the difference between synchronous and asynchronous counter. Okay, so we have already discussed what is the counter, what is asynchronous counter, what is synchronous counters. Okay, so now we will discuss the type of another synchronous counters, that are ring counter and Johnson counter. So you have to recollect the circuit of shift resistor. What is the function of shift resistor? You can see here, this is a circuit diagram of ring counter, but you can see here we are using here shift resistor. See, so serial in, serial out, that we have already discussed in previous video. Then output of this flip-flop will be given to the next flip-flop serially. One bit we are transmitting at a time. Then output of this Q1 will be shifted to D2, input to next flip-flop. Then output of this flip-flop will be given to the next flip-flop input, like this way. So simply we are transmitting data serially. So this shift resistor we are using in this ring counter. So what is the difference now? This seesaw we are using as it is, but what is the difference? What are the changes we are doing here? First, that we are giving ORI, overriding signal. What is that? Here you can see the same signal I am applying to PR, and same signal I am applying to here to clear input, CLR input. So in first flip-flop, I am giving PR is equal to this ORI signal. And this is what dot indicates, this bubble indicates. This is the, if I am applying here 0, then there is an inverter, internal there is an inverter, then 0 will be converted to 1. If this signal is 1, then whatever the input Q and clock, it will preset this flip-flop to 1, means output will be 1. Now here, clear signal. Suppose this signal is 0, means internally there is an inverter, means it will becomes 1. So irrespective of any inputs, this clear is 1, then what will happen? It will be clear. This flip-flop will clear. So first time we will give this overriding signal here, this PR preset signal to first flip-flop, and to remaining 3 flip-flop we will give clear signal. So what happened now? Initially in the first clock, whenever I am applying first clock and this ORI, so this will preset this flip-flop, means it will set the flip-flop to 1 and remaining will be 0, 0, 0. Q0 will be MSB bit and Q3 is LSB bit. So we are getting 1,000 in the output. Now what happened? If D0 is 1, I mean here we are applying PR is 1. So Q0, irrespective of any input, this Q0, this D0 and clock is either 1 or 0, Q0 will be 1. Now this Q0 I am shifting here. I am using seesaw configuration here. So this Q0, that is 1, shifted to next flip-flop. I am talking about second clock pulse now. So what happened? This 1 is shifted to D1. Then this is what delay flip-flop. So if D1 is 1, Q1 is also 1. So initially the output will be 1,000. Then 1 is shifted here. You can see here, this is nothing but the simple seesaw function we are using here, seesaw circuit we are using here. So this Q0 given to D1 of the second flip-flop. So 1 is shifting here. And what we are doing, this 0, Q3 we are applying back to D0. So this 0 we are applying to D0 in the second clock pulse. So in the second clock pulse, we are getting 0, 1, 0, 0. Now in the third clock pulse, what happened? This one is shifted here at D2. So if D2 is 1, Q2 will be 1. But at the same time, Q3 is 0. So this 0 is shifted here and Q0 is also 0. It is given to D1. So Q1 is also 0. So in the third clock pulse, we are getting 0, 0, 1, 0. Now what happened in the fourth clock pulse? In fourth clock pulse, now this 1 shifted here to D3. So D3 is 1. So D3 is 1. Q3 will be also 1. But in the previous case, in the third case, Q3 was 0. So this 0 was applying here. So 0 in the fourth clock pulse, we are getting 0, 0, 0, 1. Now what happened at fifth clock pulse? This Q3, that is 1. 1, I am applying back to this Q0. I mean, this Q3, that is 1, we are applying back to D0. So Q0 is now 1, but remaining will be 0. So 1, 0, 0 in the fifth clock pulse. So you can see here in this truth table, here you can see in the first clock pulse, as I told you, 1, 0, 0. Then in the second clock pulse, we are getting 0, 1, 0, 0. In the third clock pulse, we are getting 0, 0, 1, 0. And in the fourth clock pulse, we are getting 0, 0, 1. In the fifth clock pulse, again, we are getting 1, 0, 0. In short, this 1 is shifting like this way. Q's from Q0 to Q1 to Q3 and Q2 and Q3. So this is what ring counter. This is simply moving in serial manner. And you can see here this output. Again, we are applying this output. We are giving back to the input. So that's why name is ring counter. One is shifting serially. So that's why name is ring counter. Okay, so why ring counter is better? Here one example I have taken that this can be generated by this output, as we have seen here, can be generated by the ring counter as well as by counter and decoder. This is what 2-bit counter and decoder circuit. But this is what this ring counter is simple circuit. But you know the decoder circuit, we are using AND or operations, then we have to use 2-bit counter also. Okay, so compared to this circuit, this will be similar. That this will be simpler. So that's why we will use ring counter. Okay, so this is what timing diagram of the ring counter, and this is what truth table of the ring counter. So at the first time, what we'll do, we are applying this signal to all the flip-flops, right? So whenever no clock will be there, and if we will give this signal 0, then internally it becomes 1. That's why first flip-flop output will be 1 and remaining will be 0. Because why this is 1? Because we are applying preset signal to this flip-flop. So if I am applying this signal to 0, means internally it becomes 1, means preset signal becomes 1. That's why D0 is 1 and Q0 will be 1. So like this way, we are getting 1, 0, 0. Then in the next clock pulse, it will be shifted. As I told you, it will simply follow the seesaw operation. So 0, 1, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 1, 0, then 0, 0, 1, and in the fifth clock pulse, again it will start from 1, 0, 0, like this way. This is truth table and timing diagram of ring counter. Okay, now we'll see Johnson's counter. So what is the difference between ring counter and Johnson counter? So in the ring counter, what we are doing, this output we are applying back to input. You can see here in this ring counter, what we are doing, output Q3 will be given to the D0. But here what we'll do, output E bar, means this output, complement output will be given to the input of first flip-flop. This is one difference. And the second the difference is, here we will not give preset signal. Here we will simply clear all this flip-flop initially. Now we'll see the function of this. Initially, all the flip-flop output will be 0, 0, 0. You can see here in the first clock pulse, output will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Then again it will follow the seesaw operation. So this 0 will be shifting here, but you can see here I am applying E bar to this D. So first clock I have 0, 0, 0, 0. But in the next clock, what happened? This 1, this is 0. So E dash will be 1. This one I am applying to this flip-flop D. Input D is equal to 1. So if D is 1, then A is 1. So in the second clock pulse, output will be 1, 0, 0, 0. You can see here in this truth table also 1, 0, 0, 0. This is about second clock pulse. Then in the third clock pulse, now what happened? This A is shifting here. D is 1, so B is also 1. But again, this 1 I am applying back here. So D is 1 and A is 1. So in the third clock pulse, we are getting 1, 1, 0, 0. You can see here 1, 1, 0, 0. Then in the fourth clock pulse, what happened? This 1 is shifting here. So D is 1, C will be 1. A is 1 also because E dash I have already applied here. So A is 1 and B is 1. So this is what shifting here. B is giving to D and D is 1, then C is also 1. Again, E dash I am applying here. So 1, 1, 1, 0. Here you can see in the fourth clock pulse. Similarly, in the fifth clock pulse, again it will shift. Now what happened at sixth clock pulse? In the fifth clock pulse, all the outputs will be 1. In the fifth clock pulse. Now in the sixth clock pulse, E is 1. So E dash will be 0. This 0 I am applying here. D is 0. A is 0. But remaining will be 1. So output will be 0, 1, 1. Then again this 0 is shifting here and again we are getting 0 because this is what 1 and E dash will be 0. This 0 I am applying here at D. So in that seventh clock pulse, we are getting 0, 0, 1, 1. Like this way, Johnson counter will work. Okay, so you have to remember the difference between the circuit. In the ring counter, we are applying E. I mean, output of the last flip-flop will be given to the input of the first flip-flop. But in Johnson counter, complement output will be given to input of first flip-flop, like this way. And here you can see this logic operation also given. Means in the first clock pulse, we are applying this A bar and A bar here. And then we are getting, but this logic is not giving in this, showing in this circuit, but simply this circuit will work like this way. We have completed all the types of synchronous and asynchronous counters. So now we will discuss the difference between synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. So now we will see the difference between synchronous and asynchronous counter. So as you know, in synchronous counters, we are applying clock simultaneously to all the flip-flops. But in asynchronous counter, clock pulse is given to the first flip-flop and the output of the first flip-flop acts as a clock to the next and so on. The synchronous counter is quick compared to asynchronous counter. Why? Because it has low propagation delay, because we are applying clock simultaneously. So propagation delay is low. Okay, speed is high. Asynchronous counter is slow as compared to synchronous counter. In synchronous counter, an additional combinational circuit is required for its design. So it is complicated. But asynchronous counter is easy to design. Now, in synchronous counter, a number of operations can be much greater than asynchronous counters, but the number of operation is secondary to the synchronous counter. In the synchronous counter, the count sequence is not permanent as it is created to work in an accurate series of states. But in asynchronous counter, generally the count sequence will be means either we are using up counter or down counter. In synchronous counters, each flip-flop is independently clocked, therefore direct interconnection between them does not occur. But in the asynchronous counter, the output of the preceding acts as the clock input for the next, therefore direct interconnection between the flip-flops occurs. Okay everyone, thank you.